Hey viewers, welcome to another Games Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing a SC2 match, as you can see, Starcraft 2, for those of you who don't know. Probably won't be watching this anyway. This is the Asus tournament blah blah thingy. There's a thing in the front of the video that actually shows you what the tournament is called. And this is the final match, game 1. Polt versus Stephano. Polt being the Terran player and Stephano being the Zerg player. And we will see what they make of it. Yeah, both of them are really good players. And yeah, we start off with Stephano in the bottom right and Polt in the top left. Both of them going for yeah, for the title, obviously. Yeah, this is a best of 5. I will be doing all 5 games. This is game 1. And let's bring up the production tab. So I don't know a whole lot about these players, except that both of them are near Grandmasters. One of them is Grandmaster, the other is just a little bit short of that. So the one is quite like 399th on the ladder, which makes you Grandmaster, and the other one is 416th or something like that, 420. So really not a whole lot of difference between them in the ladder, but that doesn't mean anything. Anyhow, we saw the extracted trick there from the Zerg, giving you an extra drone for a little bit while your Overlord is spawning, and it gives you a little bit of an advantage in the amount of minerals you have. Don't know if I can actually pull that up. Resources? Nah. Here you go. Well, the Zerg is pulling ahead, but that's because he can make a lot more units quickly, and yeah, that really doesn't mean a whole lot for now. So we see barracks going down. No early expansion, but also no second barracks. That's what this drone is scouting for. Whether there is a second expansion out, or a second barracks out. Because he can now fast expand. Because with no second expansion, there is no way that the Terran player can put enough pressure on that expansion to make him cancel it. And let me close this. Yeah, we see the spawning pool going down. We see a gas geyser already, or an extractor. We see a refinery for the Terran player. And yeah, the Terran player now closing off his base and making sure that the Zerg player cannot scout that, and sending out his first Marine. Trying to build a bunker here, but immediately getting harassed by the drone. 2 more drones coming out to help, but they're not going to stay here, I'm guessing. Once this guy is chased away, it's not a whole lot needed. So yeah, it's not really the best thing. You're going to lose, I think, 75 minerals by cancelling this bunker, because obviously this isn't going up anytime soon. And there you go, 75 minerals. Oh, you actually lose 25, never mind. So these drones were taken from the mineral, well, were prevented from mining for a brief amount of time. But that brief amount of time might be enough to make up for the 25 minerals. Plus, of course, the SCV, but the SCV is normally lost anyway, because the Zerglings can easily chase it down. So a couple of Zerglings coming in for the scouts. They're really slow still. One of them sent to this expansion just for the scout. One of them going to scout the expansion. There is no expansion, so that's, yeah, what all he wanted to know. But there is a command center being built right at this moment. Well, we see the other one still producing the SCVs, which is obviously what you should do. Because the more SCVs you have, the better your mining is, up to a certain cap. But yeah, once you reach the maximum, you will see that. Because then everything will move all the time, and yeah, just like this kind of. You can put a couple more on this, I think, to make it optimal. Well, to make the maximum out of this. It's not optimal. Optimal would be the best between everything. What the hell is this? Yeah, right. I saw it walking over here and I was like, huh? Here, there's another one. So they seem to belong to the map. So the units tab shows it there are 6 Hellions out. 4 of them are here. Don't know where the other 2 are. Oh, there they are. And yeah, that's of course very good at killing off these drones. But that's why there are 2 queens here, and there are well, a bunch of these Zerglings. What's that? Hang on, that's 21 Zerglings. But 21 Zerglings aren't going to do very well against these. Well, they're not blue flame Hellions yet. So once the upgrade finishes, if it's at all up, let's see, we can see that. No, it's not up. But if you upgrade the Hellion damage, they will do a lot better versus these Zerglings. Whatever. No, I don't know where I can see that, but it's one of the upgrades. I think it's over here. Oh, it has to be on a factory, I guess. Yeah, there's nothing on the factory. So no add-on, because the add-on now moved to the starport, and he is going into production mode for his medevacs. And going to build a whole wall of supply depots here. Wanting to obviously do as much as possible against these Zerglings. Zerglings that are probably going to overrun him otherwise. And a few early, what are they called? Hellions are really good at, well, keeping them at bay. So the wall off, not really completed, but it's no problem, because with these Marines, the Hellions can do enough to actually keep the Zerglings away. And yeah, scaring away the Zergling from the tower, and he's not going to catch up with that, but that's no problem. Because one Zergling is not going to make a big difference. Are these already invisible? Thought they were still visible, and I thought that people would actually want to take them out. Yes, they do. Well, he does have to scout that. I know this one is invisible, but I thought the other ones were still visible. They must have changed that at some point. So going to attack this second expansion from the Zerg player, and the Zerg player obviously going to come in with his Zerglings, because that's all he has for the moment. Yeah, only 19 Zerglings left versus 28 Marines, and I think the Marines should have that. Is it? Yeah, it's the structural debris, which you can take out to make a new path into this base. And that means that even if you you guard this entire entrance, which is, by the way, a very big entrance, you're still going to have some trouble. A new hatchery coming up, but the Marines are still there. So yeah, this is exactly what the Zerglings do, and wow, nicely done. Yeah, all of the Marines getting picked up here by the medevacs and getting healed. And now with a large group going in there, it's 38 to 50, 38 Marines, 50 Zerglings. But the Marines should be able to take out a lot more. So cancelling the hatchery there and immediately running back out because he doesn't want to get caught by this huge group of Zerglings that he knows is out. Two hatcheries here. One queen can actually handle both of the inject larvae. And still he has an extra queen there. Don't know why. Infestation pit built and the first infestor out. And I hear... oh, that's it. He's breaking the destructible rocks to make sure that he can get into this, I guess, third expansion with his troops. And he can defend that a little bit easier. Because otherwise he needs to get in here and you need to run all the way across here to this point instead of just being able to whoop, get in there. And going into yeah, kind of a macro mode Zerg here. The Terran also has 2 extra expansions and a nice front setup, even though this front is very hard to defend because, well, look at the size of this thing, man. It is virtually impossible to defend all of it in a sufficient manner. But yeah, these destructible rocks are still there, so he needs to defend this part at least to prevent run-bys into his second expansion. And yeah, so far so good. Everyone just chilling out. I don't know what we're producing at the moment. Ultralisk cavern. Ha! That is a really quick ultralisk cavern. We normally see ultralisks after all of the attacks are no longer really, yeah, doing anything. 2 scouting marines being suicided there, just to scout how many Zerglings there are. Didn't really get a good view on that, because most of the Zerglings were in the mist, and you cannot look through the mist. But now he does see how many there are, and there are a lot of them. Anyhow, first Ultralisk being built, and he's going to stay back a little, going to just use a little bit of the energy on his infestors to hold off the army, because what he wants to do is just get the Ultralisk out, because they can tank a lot of the damage while the Zerglings do their thing and get a lot of damage done. Obviously has the speed upgrade for them, so they can run in and do a whole lot of damage. And this whole front is undefended, it seems, because, well, the Marines are over there attacking, and fungal growth going down on the Marines that are coming back. And the infestors are now in some trouble. They need to try to escape, but they're not going to manage to do so. I think most of them are out of energy. Yes, they are. And some of the infested Terrans going down, while we see the Zerglings just going into the base and getting slaughtered. So the infested Terrans against the real Terrans, and the Marines are obviously going to take that easily, because there are just a lot more of them. So Ultralisk coming in, but not engaging with that right now, because the army that is coming at him is huge. A lot of tanks. That's what, 7 tanks. And yeah, the 7 tanks are going to be really glad if the Ultralisks run into them, because it is easy for them to take them out that way. And now sieging up outside of the front door of this Zerg player, and the Zerg player will have to break that at some point, but the best way to do that would obviously be through the air, and that is not the route he took, because he chose to go for a ground army, meaning that he's going to lose quite a few units here. But that was actually a pretty good attack, seeing that he took out all of these tanks with virtually no losses. The Zerglings really don't count as losses, because they are just so cheap. And yeah, attacking the entire army here, just keeping on with the attack, and eventually probably going to run back once he runs out of army. But yeah, which is now. And there we go, retreating. Because the army really, yeah, the Zerglings are there, but they cannot really attack on their own. It really takes them, or it really takes a little bit more to do the damage. And the tank's getting taken out once again, and a couple of the Marauders. The Marauders aren't really good against Zerglings, and against the Infestors you really don't need them, so I'm not sure why he's making them. Probably suspecting there are roaches. Yeah, maybe against the Ultralisk. They would be good against the Ultralisk, obviously, because they are armored and they have a lot of hit points. But yeah, I would have kept them back if I was him, and yeah, only brought them in once the Ultralisks were actually out there. And now he lost most of his Marauders, even though the Ultralisks are still out. Or when the Ultralisks come out, I guess. And wow, the Ultralisks running all the way to the base, and the Zerglings still alive, obviously, well, some of them. And wow, two-shotting there with the Ultralisk, and this Ultralisk is going to take out 2 more supply depots before dying, and a lot of Zerglings coming in, a lot of Infestors coming in, and I think this will be a push that actually takes out this this base. Oh yeah, indeed, it was going to take out this base. So most of the of the production 3 barracks factory, and then he might have been able to hold them off at the ramp, but since this base is mined out, this base wouldn't exist anymore. He would only have this base left, and there weren't even any SCVs there. I must have missed that, but yeah, well, I'm still learning. It's a lot more to keep track of than the games I normally do. And yeah, we see that the Terran player just got out macroed in the end with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases against him. Well, this base was taken out by the Marines that came in early game, but still 4 against 2 mining bases is not a good deal. I guess this one's mined out as well. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. GG.